Hey guys, if you're confused by this video, if you're clicking on it, unless you're new here, which, by the way, thanks for clicking on the video if you're new here. Basically, you're probably thinking, I thought you already made a video on this movie, man. Well, yeah, it was my first ever, like, proper movie essay, and basically, copyright has been terrible with that video. It's been downright horrendous, and every edit I try to go around it, it just won't go through. But honestly, I'm not even that mad about it because I love every video I've done so far. No matter how imperfect it is, like I love every video, dude. It's my touch. It's something I made. It's something to be proud of. You can't have fans if you're not your own number one fan, right? But like looking back, I will admit that was very like beginner YouTuber noob video stuff. So I decided to take the whole copyright issue as an opportunity to redo this video again. Entirely new cut, new voiceover, me rereading the script again. And this time, instead of using, because I was being safe when I made that original video using just lo-fi copyright-free music, but this time actually use music from the film. And yeah, basically just do everything, because I feel like from like my Pulp Fiction video onwards, I've been killing it. Like I've been very consistent and like professional, with a little bit imperfections here and there, but still I've been doing it really good. And I still love my early videos. It's always good to look back at where you started to how far you've come with your video quality. But, I think this is a nice opportunity to essentially do it over again and do I guess you can say, just make not a better video, but like a more, perfected video, if that makes sense. So, yeah, and this is the old video you can't watch anymore because, yeah, copyright has just ruined it like crazy. So this is kind of a replacement, but it is the same script. I haven't watched the movie, for this video, even though I probably should because I still love the movie. And yeah, it's just, I guess, a replacement, remaster, if you will, just a better version of that original video. So if you're new here, you can just watch this video. And if, you missed the old video, maybe I'll find a way, maybe I'll post it on the website or something, if you guys want to watch that original video. But yeah, this is essentially just a nice remaster of an old video. This is my video essay on one of my favorite, if not my favorite movie, La La Land. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching. Hi, hey, hello.
And now, our feature presentation.
It's sunny, and boy oh boy, I cannot wait to tell you about the movie I'm going to talk to you about today. You see, within my debut video, Why Cinema Matters, I had watched a bucket load of films to establish my love for movies, and one stood out to me not just by becoming my personal favorite film, but the definitive answer as to why I love the medium with everything I got. That movie, well, it's another day of sun. Man, I just cannot wait to talk about this movie, so why keep wasting time? Let's just dive on in. Before we dive on in though, let's establish some background to know what we're getting ourselves into. La La Land is an American romantic musical that released in 2016 by Lionsgate, which was written and directed by my boy, Damien Chazelle. It stars my new favorite actor and actress Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone, and received massive critical acclaim, numerous accolades, and broke bank at the box office, as it should. But that's common knowledge. What about how this beautiful work of art came to be? You see, back in 2010, Damien Chazelle was a drummer and heavily endured the musical genre, leading him to write the screenplay for this movie. The idea behind the film was for him to take the old musical and ground it in real life, essentially in being honest of how things panned out. In his college days, he conceived the film with his fellow man, Justin Hurwitz, and both explored the concept in their low-budget film, Guy and Madeline on a Park Bench. He was moved by 1920s Cine Symphony Films, and after graduating, both gents moved to Los Angeles and made modifications to the script. He wanted to make sure that the film embodied LA's atmosphere, but also stand out in being a daring flick that, like some of the musical classics. But the most important thing is that he wanted the film to truly reflect his rise and climb throughout the Hollywood ladder. His film kept getting rejected until some of his connections got him to make a pitch for Focus Features, only to leave when they wished to alter the script. low-key mad respect. For a while, he chose to make a less risky bet within his other movie, Whiplash, which was another success and managed to get him to make La La Land when it was picked up by Lionsgate. But the real question is, did this film work in accomplishing its goals? Well, it clearly did, but the real question is, how did he accomplish them? Let's start off by diving into the Where do I even begin with the filmmaking behind this movie? Well, since it's a musical, I guess it's best to say the musical numbers are downright outstanding and breathtaking. This movie truly embodies that old school spirit within the musical genre, with a lot of loud and bombastic, over the top and whimsical work going into a lot of sequences. I mean, just look at this.
And think of how he used to know me. Climb these hills, I'm reaching.
Like, it's impressive how he goes above and beyond to transform the ordinary scenario to the most larger-than-life event ever. But the thing this film truly tackles is its balancing act between numbers, because not every scene is a loud and gigantic experience. It also contains some more smaller scale and entangled moments that either work off the ground or reach high within the imagination available. Like with all musicals that are complete bangers, everybody enjoys every song presented, but there's always that one that sticks out the most. And for me, personally, it's of course, City of Stars.
City of Stars.
Our dreams may finally come true. Yes, all we're looking for is love from someone else.
To light up the skies, to open the world and send me reeling hard. Think I want it to stay.
That song is just so damn good, and I know that to be true because I literally will be listening to it sometimes in my free time. But what makes it so good is just how sincere, human, and tender it really makes me feel. It truly exudes what the movie is trying to say about its idea, but I'll save that for later. Another thing aside from the outstanding music and production is the overall cinematography. I mean, this movie has got it all. I love how the lighting has moments of allowing the character's inner soul burst out their talent. The way the camera is always hiding every little detail of every scene. Like whenever the characters truly feel something, us the audience feel it as well. The very in-your-face transitions across the film's yearly time span and how every scene gets its moment to shine and never once cuts away. This movie is on point with how it expresses the real emotions of the characters. But who are those characters? Our lovable protagonists are that of Mia and Sebastian, who are performed by the legends Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling, respectively. This is a couple that I can easily consider as one of my personal favorites amongst movie making. And you can validate that on me because I've watched a ton of romance flicks, like you have no idea. I think it's best we discuss the characters individually and then their relationship. So I want to discuss my boy, Sebastian. When the film starts, I was automatically hooked onto his character immediately because of his relatability. And this may just be a me kind of thing, but just the fact he keeps rewinding the song playing his radio to a specific few seconds just hits right home for me because I do that almost all the fucking time. That's not it though with his character. Even though I'm just a 17-year-old dumbass depressed fucking teenager, too many people tell me I'm like a 38-year-old trapped in teen's body, and upon examination, yeah, they're right, because I really can relate to Sebastian's story, Mia too. Just how life keeps knocking him down whenever he wants to reach for the stars and do what he loves doing. But other points come of his expressive and passionate discussions for his artistic love, in particular jazz, which you can clearly tell I'm the same since this is literally a video on a YouTube channel dedicated to me talking about movies. His also heavily supportive stance for Mia in achieving her creativity is something I honestly do with my friends who want to shoot for the stars and do their thing too. But Gosling's performance helps elevate it even further since he has a very dry and subtle way of approaching his line delivery and mannerisms, with him starting as a very soulless person to a very diehard supporter and dreamer. But let's cut to my girl Mia, who like Sebastian is a dreamer and though feminine is another character I can heavily relate with, because she too gets knocked down by life's hardships in accomplishing her dreams. But unlike Sebastian, who tries to look for opportunities to reach his goals, Mia keeps striving regardless of how much she is hit, always doing what she wants without utilizing other things she's not passionate about. True mastery. Honestly, I can relate to because though Sebastian's circumstances are understandable, Mia is my kind of stance. And the way she truly feels broken when constantly being rejected, only to finally be uncovered throughout the third act, is just so wholesome and well deserving. How for once in her life, she finally feels like she is being listened to. It just certifies why these characters are not only likable, but truly are great stand-ins for us, the audience, at least viewers who too want to accomplish their dreams and can relate to their struggle. And they sure as hell relate to me, with Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone's ageless performances. But what exactly about this story perfectly represents these characters? The story, man. Where do I even begin? I think this reason perfectly stands as the film that represents my love for cinema, is that it literally stands for the idea of passion. There are so many themes in this film, mostly off the idea of dreams, with how our two characters just want to make their dreams a reality. Sebastian wanting his own club to celebrate his love for jazz, Mia becoming an actress and being a star for the world to adore, for the two to embrace their love for one another, which too is displayed throughout the idea of romance. How two lost, clueless, and almost hopeless souls can connect to a point where all their worries go away, where for once in their life, they are certified as being happy. And that's how incredible the direction Chazelle took upon this film. Not only how the tone perfectly matches the character's emotions by starting off uncertain and promising in the beginning, only to go big and truly feel joyfully endless and wonderful when our two leads fall in love and embrace themselves. I myself felt like I was falling in love right alongside the characters. But that's the true beauty and power of this film, is that the joy doesn't last. How the tone organically shifts into a more somber and heartbreaking perspective, where the real struggle comes from the characters wanting to retain the relationship, but must sacrifice their dreams in the process. When Mia is working on her script and Sebastian is planning out his club, hearing her supporting him when discussing to her mom on the phone about not knowing where to start in terms of money, causes him to join up with Keith's band, knowing damn well he's not into it at all. But does he have a choice? Is he making the right choice or the sensible one? Well, Mia doesn't think so, as the same way she's striving to do what she loves, Sebastian does too. But is her method working? How many times she's going to take to be rejected again and again? But is this their real problem? The fact that Mia keeps struggling to achieve her goals, that Sebastian is stuck with putting his time and effort into something he doesn't care about, or the fact that their goals are keeping them away from each other. And once again, the direction perfectly emulates their emotions. We finally reach the point where the one person that is supposed to be there for her isn't. And it gets to the point where Mia isn't just done with Sebastian, but her dreams. Until that call. Until despite everything they've been through, Sebastian still cares enough to make sure that Mia makes the audition. That can, maybe, and maybe not, change her life. And after that audition, the real point isn't if she's going to make it, but how are things going to go from further with them. But it gets to the point where that no longer matters. Where all that matters is that deep down, whatever it is they do, both are happy in doing what they love. They'll be happy in the end.
You never shine so brightly.
These are the reasons as to why I love this film. Besides everything I just discussed, Damien Chazelle understands the true power of film, because every little thing in this entire film is building and unfolding to reach that one final moment, that one final shot, that one final gaze. For us to understand what the characters are not only feeling, but to be hit with the thing that transforms this from just an entertaining musical flick into a masterpiece. Because all the best kinds of films put every sweat, tear, and shed of blood into closing that hits you with the one thing that rings on the same level as a feeling, a message. So long, farewell, and goodbye.